EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for the rookie from Georgia, it's James Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Gotta like that start, 14 yards to get him going. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, this is taken in, it's complete. And they're going to get this done. The 15. A gain of 27 yards. First down, Buffalo. My jersey. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And it's caught. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on until things change.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling it for a loss.
Back at the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Cook, but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him. It should open up things for you.
A man who missed all. Dobbins hit and he fumbles. Now this is picked up by the Bills. Look at the big man rumble. The 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. And how about the big boy showing off the wheels?
Let's face it, anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tariq Young, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Lavonte David charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he loses the football a second time. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ed Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And some space. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. James Cook with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it is 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot there. And a loose football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They go play action now. Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now Allen. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Uses the stiff arm. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 51 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 12-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens are able to cut into that deficit. And the kick is no good, but there are flags behind the line. He's going to get bailed out. I think this is going to be a roughing call. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Point after try forthcoming. And this time he gets it to go as he goes up and good. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
Well, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you, I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. To throw, it's Allen. Going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So now on 4th down, Sam Martin on to punt for Buffalo. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Jackson's throw pulled in by Robinson here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down. Play action. It's Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And Jackson throwing once more. Steps away to his left. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. Charles, a nice play there, wasting no time making his presence felt for this defense.
And you know, we heard the same conversation around the league. A lot of people were surprised that he was available, and a touchdown.
Mark Andrews, 31 yards. And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Allen. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Derek Young. As the first half is winding down. And the Bills would extend their lead here just before halftime. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. He's got a man, complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. They fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first two quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Edwards now on 1st and 10 to about the 48-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
Do you get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter? Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's Edwards again on second down. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he fires this one incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. Now Jackson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. To return is McKenzie. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, you know, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going. And that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's Allen. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone.
Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kaiir Elam makes a pick, and the Bills Bills are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Bills have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Calling the gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Touchdown! Mark Andrews, 45 yards. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Tucker with the extra point. And leads down to 24. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Diggs crossing the field and bringing it in. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 42 yards. And the Ravens take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Well, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And my goodness, another interception. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less.
Touchdown, Bills! Derek Young, 38 yards. And the Bills are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. McKenzie now to return it. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 119 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
It's a gain of 35 yards. And the Bills first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Allen. This is caught. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better 1st quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they take a knee. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Jackson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Bills, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will head home next week to take